Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video. So today I'll be briefly discussing a video I recently came across from Yanni the Locologist. Her video was titled, How to Freeform the Right Way, which begs the question, is there a right way to freeform? In her professional opinion, the right way to freeform is to, separate your hair because you don't want it to grow into these big clumps because it's easier to get to your scalp if you separate periodically, right? And it was also interesting because I see a lot of people battling with that. A lot of people are battling with, should I separate, should I not separate, because they feel like if I separate, then I'm not free forming the right way, for whatever that means to people. For one, I think that, listen, when most people, especially today in 2021, when most people think about freeform locks or they envision freeform locks, I think that what they really want and envision is locks like J. Cole has, locks like Lauryn Hill used to have. I don't know if he still has them, but locks like Lenny Kravitz used to have or has, right? Because those types of dreadlocks give people the best of both worlds, right? They get the untwisted kind of thick locks, but they also have an abundance of locks. And I think that's more so what people desire than having a bunch of, not a bunch of, a few dreadlocks, a few thick dreadlocks clumped up on their head. You know what I mean? So, and I think that they feel like if they separate that the way that they're going about having locks is less than. I tell people not to be robotic about this, right? If in growing your hair like this, you get to a point that it's so clumped together that it's hard for you to properly wash your hair. It's hard for you to properly oil your scalp or however you moisturize your scalp. It's difficult for you to get to it to wash it or rinse it off or to dry it properly. If those things, if having thick clumped up locks impedes on any of those things, and then yes, you should separate, or listen, you may simply not, from an aesthetic standpoint, you just might not want to have your locks clumped up like that anymore. Then yes, you should separate it. You shouldn't just be robotic for the sake of trying to fit in some space on social media. I see that happening a lot. And if you're not happy with the way you have your locks, then it doesn't matter if you're fitting into this space correctly or not, because you're not happy with it. I've also heard at times people say, well, my hair it's pulling. And yes, you should not continue to feel hurt for the simple reason of saying I am freeforming the correct way. So my advice to people would be to not put a label on it. Don't put a tag on yourself. When you first start doing it, don't put a tag on it, because listen, a lot of people, you have to give yourself room for error or to grow, so you trying to grow locks like this, it might not be as natural or natural at all for you as it was for me. For me, it was just a thing. Like I want those types of locks. But I understand that I did not grow my locks like this because I said I want to fit in a space on social media. I saw this and I just said, hey, I want to do that. Take the old school approach, man. A lot of old school people, they don't understand these terms because it's just simply, they just know it as dreadlocks, and that's it. So just say I'm growing dreadlocks, so you give yourself a little room to maneuver. So if you do want to change it, you're not feeling guilty about trying to fit into this space, or to look a certain way to these people, on social media. Just have dreadlocks, man, and so if you want to separate them, or if you want to have them come together, then you could just have them come together, So I think that's a lot of times that's people's dilemma, man. They feel like I'm less than, or I'm going to disappoint people because I separate or anything like that. And it kind of goes to show the hold that social media can have on us, and when it comes to like terms and appealing a certain way to a certain group of people, you know, and it can have a hold on you. But listen, there's no really right way to freeform. I think, yes, we see people lying to themselves. Yes, we see that all the time. That's just the world of social media. But I think also that they do lie to themselves in part because they feel like there's a right or a wrong way to do it, and they're trying to be in this box of this word freeform when their personality and what they really desire is not that. So if that's not what you really desire, don't come on social media trying to fit in a space that just ain't you. Just simply have locks, and then you can go about it like that, and you give yourself room for error. You give yourself room for change. You give yourself time or room to just maneuver how you want to maneuver. But if you're just on here and you're trying to I think a lot of times people are trying to be freeform rather than just trying to grow their hair. You know, so if you're just trying to be freeform, then yeah, then you know what, then that becomes a right or a wrong way to do that, because you're trying to fit in a space, this proverbial space on social media, rather than just trying to be who you are and trying to grow your hair. So again, if all of those things, if having big thick Congos impedes in any of those things, where as far as your hair care goes, then yes, you should separate. You shouldn't feel less than, because you want to separate. Now, you do have people who separate because there's other things that they have to unpack as far as their self-image and their hair goes. Those people just gonna have to, they just have to deal with it on their own, and that's what it is. So that's my spiel for this video. Happy Juneteenth, and thanks for watching this video.